Why is your bass line never hitting right? This is what we do in dance music to be able to achieve that. Now, the bass plays two roles. Number one, it's part of the groove. If your bass isn't sounding great, the track's not going to have groove in dance music. And number two is a support to your harmonic backbone. Especially if you're doing like melodic music, whether it's melodic house, trance, or melodic techno, this becomes very, very important. So let's dive in and let's look at how the groove and the harmonic backbone play a role in you getting a bass that actually sits right on the track. Let's go. So this is what we have in terms of, I've only turned on the kick, the bass, and that's it for now. And the drums. Let's just hear what's happening in the bass line. So the bass itself is, in this situation, is comprised of like 3 layers. I usually do like 1 or 2 at the most bass layers. You can do 3 if you want to. You just have to be like careful how you're actually positioning them. I'll make another video on this topic of how to actually position each layer so it actually sounds good. But overall, when we talk about the compositional aspect of the bass, the groove, we're looking at there are 2 layers, but every time like this is your main, so this is the main melody in the bass. It repeats twice and then it goes up and it goes down, right? So there's a melodic movement in the backbone right here happening. Let's check it out. See, we're kind of like starting on the E, we're going up and we're dropping down to the D, going back to the E. As you see, like when we start putting in different layers of basses that are doing slightly different things, it's easy to convolute the groove. First, we got to keep it simple. Now, every hit that's happening here, in this case happens to be aligned. We have another layer here, which I called it the tops. Let's solo it. It's very different than this. Combination makes it a good bass line, but how is all this locking in together for it to feel good as a groove? We see like this is being played on the offbeat and the offbeat is aligning with these notes right here, these notes right here. So it creates some type of cohesiveness. We don't have 2 bass lines doing completely different things. So they're supporting each other, they're creating a groove, and this is the first role of the bass line. This needs to be coherent, it needs to be clear. If we were to play, again, what we're hearing, we have some drum elements on top, that's fine, but overall the bass is very coherent, the rhythm moves, it's not boring, and these 2 layers complement each other. This is where the groove plays a role. Now, the second thing we got to look at, remember what we were saying, how it needs to play a role in the harmonic backbone of the track. What does that mean? The bass is like the lowest kind of octave melody that's moving through the track. So everything that's kind of aligns on top of it harmonically needs to make sense. So for example, here in the bass, we're playing an E. Let's hear the notes. So we're going from an E up to an A, which is the 4th. See, like 1, 2, 3, 4. We're dropping down to the 7th, which is the D. We're going back to the 1. So we're playing a 1, 4, 7, 1. Now, if we go down to the synths, let's hear it. This is where theory becomes quite important, in the sense that we're playing an E here. It's an E minor. It's the first chord of the E scale in this case, and the bass is playing an E as well too, right? If the bass starts playing, the bass could play other notes as well, but overall it needs to hit home on the E, so harmonically it supports this chord. And then when we go to the second chord where it goes to the A, we see the A here. The A is not the 3rd here. The A is actually the base of the chord, which is the fourth chord of the scale. And then we drop down to the D. This is a D chord. We're just missing the third right here. 1, 3, 5, 7. So, and then we go back to the E. So these are the two main roles that become quite important when we're thinking about the stability of the bass in our track. Number one, what type of groove does it have? How does it support the track in that sense? It needs to be clear. It needs to be concise. If you're going to do some layers, you want to make sure that some of the notes are aligning for there to be some consistency and it's not too messy in terms of a listening experience. Once you check that box off, if you're doing melodic music, you want to make sure that the melodic movement of the bass line actually is in line with the chord progressions that you're moving. Like this, is the chord becomes an extension of the bass and the higher frequencies. And this is what creates a bass line that actually makes sense. A bass line that actually is functional and actually feels good. Hope this is helpful for you guys. If you guys have any questions, reach out to us. You guys could always book in a call with us as well too to help you out if you're looking for more advanced help in production, or if you want to check out this type of stuff into your own tracks, depending on what's best for you. Let's have a conversation. It's free. Click on the link below, book a call, and we'll chat. See ya.